Hi everyone, I'm Roku Rotenki.
Hi, and I'm Aideth Elwing. Oh, hang on.
And we are Gamers Anonymous.
All right, in today's talk, we'll be talking about the fall of World of Warcraft, which,
Yeah, and then the rise of Final Fantasy XIV.
Well, then we'll move on to new updates for the create mod for Minecraft, so be good.
Yep, and then we will be talking about a little bit about Ghost Hunters Corp, and it's the new game similar to Phasmophobia. And then last, we'll be talking a little bit about the rebranding and stuff of my stream channel.
Yep, so I guess let's hop right to it, everybody. Let's dive right in.
Yep. Oh, man. World of Warcraft. Oh, that is such a topic, ain't it? With the way things are going.
I know a lot of people are going to hate me right now, especially for those people that know, especially those members in Nightbeard that know how dedicated I am to 11.
Oh yeah,
because the entire 11 versus WoW debate. I mean, if you were there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I played both, so I'm kind of in the middle. Always just.
Oh yeah, I mean, WoW has its it has the things, it has stuff that I like. I won't lie, it's a lot simpler of a game to play than what 14 is, especially to play your classes and do your combos and maximize your deeps.
I would say it is simpler now. Back when I played, and back in the Wrath days, back before they destroyed half of Azeroth.
Well, I played Rogue, so Rogue was always pretty easy.
That was Rogue. But again, if you played vanilla, if you've played through Burning Crusade, if you played through Wrath,
when I'd play my Warlock, it was a little bit different.
Again, when did you play?
Oh yeah, Wrath of the Lich King, of course. That was my. That was my.
You started there, didn't you? Though
I started BC.
You started Burning Crusade. Okay, so you weren't there in vanilla.
Yeah,
but
I did not play vanilla.
Back when raiding was raiding.
Mm-hmm.
Since vanilla, again, you've raided in 14 with me. We've raided together. Have you done anything beyond hard mode in 14? Have you done any extremes?
Yeah, I used to do extremes all the time in the early part.
So probably not since they phased the design team up a notch. Probably not since then, right? So not since Eden.
I tried to do some in Eden at the very beginning.
Did you try to do some Eden extremes?
Yeah, because I was tanking as Gunbreaker.
Yes.
And stuff, and it definitely, it was rough. I won't lie. It is the thing I like with WoW. WoW has at least 3 levels of difficulty for their raids, where you have
WoW does easy, as well, but they also
medium and pretty freaking hard.
Well, they also did that remember when they added extreme into Aurora Reborn, that made it 3.
Yeah.
So again, that was just, you can tell they designed the fights backwards. They designed the hard ones first.
Mm-hmm.
Then they strip everything out. So WoW has always done it kind of the opposite. And some of them you can tell, others you can't really tell. It just depends.
Yeah, exactly. And then a quick hi to Builder Boy and a hi to Unforgiven, and welcome to the channel. Today we are discussing World of Warcraft, the fall of World of Warcraft, and the rise of Final Fantasy XIV.
And Ryu, I know you're in the chat, and I know you can I know you can actually provide some input in this, because you've, like me, you've played both 11 and WoW, so you know how it is. You know how it used to be.
Unfortunately, I've only played 11 recently.
Again, you're welcome.
Back in the original time of WoW, I didn't play 11.
11 is very different.
Oh, yeah.
And again, like many people may not actually remember. I mean, only those like us who've like myself who have played the original version of 14. 14 was extremely different before they had to scrap it and start over.
Yeah.
Originally, it was very different. It was pretty much just Final Fantasy 11 with a major graphical overhaul in a different world.
Yeah.
Many of the aspects were the same. But when they flopped, because they added a lot of extra latency by having everything check and then recheck to verify that you weren't cheating, because cheat engine was on the rise at the time, and everything you did had extra latency, every menu option, every movement. And this was a time when they tried to load the entire world map into your RAM, because they had what was called the seamless zoning system, where you would go from area to area and not see a black screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was as Ryu said, it was all server side. Everything was sent and received from your client, but you never saw a single thing load.
Oh yeah.
So everything had to reside in your system memory, which at the time, I mean, this was at
that
the time when
insanely intensive.
This was 2007, 2008 when like beta went live. So what was that, Vista era? I mean, people weren't ready for Vista. They weren't ready for this.
Oh yeah,
the game looked beautiful and had an entirely different engine. It's had to scrap it, start over, and when they started over, they decided to make it a World of Warcraft clone.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, honestly, God, World of Warcraft has kind of set the standard for MMORPGs.
Yes, after WoW, pretty much every RPG after that functioned the same.
Yeah, it really set the standard for how the games are created these days and stuff. And most people that go off of the kind of WoW style, I won't lie, I don't have fun with them. They're a little rough. The only one that's a little off from WoW but is still great is Phantasy Star and stuff, but it still has some of that WoW flavor to it, you know.
It has a bit, but that's just mainly because it's an MMO. But Phantasy Star was always an action adventure combat game first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's not exactly, and even then, it's not fully online because everything is limited to very specific squads.
Yeah, but now Phantasy Star.
I have not checked out New Genesis. I have not checked out New Genesis. So I have to experience New Genesis first. But as somebody
Genesis,
I mean, as somebody like me who played it on the original Dreamcast with the first Phantasy Star,
and just so you know, with New Genesis, it has zoneless.
I would say I know it's supposed to have seamless zoning, but again,
and it works.
Hardware
really nice.
is much better off nowadays than it used to be, though. So
I mean, come on.
No, we're not worried.
Realm Reborn came out.
I mean, they're running it on an Xbox, and I know that I know that an Xbox is,
or I should say,
pretty good hardware
when
now.
14 first came out, the non-Realm Reborn, it had to have been, let's see, most people's computers maybe had 4 gigs of RAM at max. 8 gigs was for a really nice computer.
At what time? Because it depends.
Well, I'm just saying back when, because that's been quite a while since regular, not Realm Reborn, but regular 14.
Legacy. Yeah, Legacy came out. It was in beta during the time of Vista's release because I played on Vista.
Yeah, that means most people were only running 4, maybe 8 gigs.
4 gigs at most, because if you were going from 32-bit XP,
where nowadays everybody's running a minimum of 8.
Yes, nowadays actually, and even 8 is slumming it nowadays, and even 8 is slumming it nowadays. Nowadays, you want 16.
Yeah, exactly.
You want at least 16 as a minimum. You know, I mean, you could save a buck and get 8, but
and also now we have dual channel, which makes a big difference.
Yep.
And we have higher speed of RAM.
At the time, it was DDR2. It was what most people had, was DDR2 memory at the time. We were running on Core 2 Duals.
That's where nowadays seamless really is not that big of a deal.
Mm-mm.
Also, people now have better internet connection.
Yep, people have better internet connections, and actually, like I noticed we was putting some stuff out here in the chat. Like he brought up a good thing there. They've turned WoW into a job.
Oh yeah, because like here, I'll pull that.
Yeah, pull it up on screen,
right
and that makes a good point. Makes a good point. It's like you're forced to do things, and a lot of it you may not want to.
Oh yeah,
a lot of it gets repetitive. That's kind of why I've liked the idea of roulettes more, since it's anything you've unlocked since the start of using the duty finder. So it's anything you've done previously, and you may not get the same thing over and over. I mean, yeah, I've seen it happen.
Yeah,
I've seen it happen on that, but usually it's you end up with the same group that you can't freaking get to clear. But you know, but you know, you can always turn things off to prevent that. So
yeah, exactly.
But I mean, back then in the day, like I'm pretty sure. I think now because WoW's is called the Instance Finder still, right?
Yeah,
I believe it was either Miss or right after Miss. Didn't they make theirs cross server?
It was after Miss to Pandaria.
Was it after Miss?
I think it was Warlords of Draenor was when we started
where they made
they
made their instance matching cross server, and you weren't limited to your own. And again, that it was like that in Legacy, but Realm Reborn changed that. And yes, it helps because lower pop servers are looking forever. But
it helps greatly to have the cross server dungeon.
It helps greatly to have cross server, yes. But this is something I'll always go back to, and as somebody who also has played back in 11's heyday, who's Ryu can say this. Back when you had to play with the people on your server.
I know how that is with World of Warcraft.
And you know, you couldn't be a dick because even people would know you.
Because remember, I started in BC where we had to go spam and trade chat, looking for tank, tank.
Yeah, you were there for WoW side of it, but I was there on the 11th side of it, and for Legacy,
or for Hellfire Peninsula or Ramparts. You know.
Yep.
Spamming, looking for tank, or looking for me. For me, it was always looking for a healer because when I was leveling in BC, I was a tank and stuff. I was a prop pally leveling. But then once I started looking for raid groups and stuff, I went Holy Pally. Because it's a lot easier to get into a hardcore raid team as a healer than a tank back then.
That's kind of why. That's why back in my day, is I had to have a tune of each class. Because that was the kind of raids we did back then. We all filled. So
that's what I liked about playing Paladin, because I was a tank, a DPS, and a healer.
And and you know, I'm gonna bring this up because again, there are only a couple of MMOs that still do this. You want to be attached to your character. Stop forcing us to make a character for every class.
Yes, that is my problem with WoW.
Like that, this was the one thing that I enjoyed in Phantasy Star, because that was like my first MMO experience. And then in 11 they continued it, and then in 14 they continued it, where everything is on the same character.
Yep, and that is what I love about those 3 games, especially because I can be any class with one character. I don't have to log out and log back in on a different tune to do that.
Yep, you don't have to do any of that, but in WoW you do.
And then, let's see, here we go. Like old WoW, the ceiling would increase with better gear, but now, I can't read for nothing. And stuff, but Unforgiven, yeah. Definitely a major point there.
Yeah, I mean, they do that. I mean, a little bit in 14 now, but there are still 2 more expansions. Endwalker's coming later. There should be 1 more after Endwalker, because that should raise the cap up to 99.
I can't wait for Endwalker. Reaper finally.
Dude,
what Death
Reaper
Knight
looks cool.
should have been.
Reaper looks cool, and yes, it looks like it should have been what Dark Knight is supposed to be. But again, they messed up Dark Knight. They messed up Red Mage, for Christ's sake, so don't even get me started.
Oh, Red Mage. That is such a cluster, man.
I can't. Blue Mage is still a limited job, for Christ's sake, and that's just dumb.
Yeah, that's because Blue Mage is such a very
they shot themselves in the foot when they locked into a 3-roll system.
Yes, they should have been a 4-roll.
They should just do what like other games do this.
Just like Sage.
And other
Sage
games
is going to be a healer.
Sage, I mean, again, yes, we do need another healer. We do need another healer. I agree. There's only 3. We need another healer. But Sage sounds like they're mixing in.
They're trying to make it.
It seems like they're trying to mix in a white mage with Geomancer.
Well, the way it's actually, I mean, come on Astro, they're getting rid. Astro's just strictly going to be a heal over time and not have where it shifts between the 2 different.
So Astro's losing
Sage
cards
is going to be a lot like Scholar and be a shielder.
Mm-hmm.
So they pretty much took away shielding from Astro and put
it on Sage.
Yep.
Please tell me Astro's still going to have the cards.
Yes, they're still going to have their buff cards.
They better, because that's literally the only thing it's got going for it.
Yep.
And they took that from freaking Corsair and 11. So
they
like whenever they decide to do Corsair, which they had it, that was technically the Musketeer.
Yeah, I'm okay they got rid of Sage having healing, but see, Sage should still be more centered around as a support style.
Yeah, and again, like it's exactly what happened with Scholar.
Mm-hmm.
Like as a summoner mage, so I can do summoner and scholar. It's Scholar's meant to be a support, but technically so is summoner. I
still don't know what to think of them having the floating little drone things for their weapon. Still having conflict issues with that one.
I don't know. That's probably with their whole idea that even a white mage isn't defenseless in physical combat. Yeah, so that's probably just stemming from that design idea. Because I don't know if you've ever seen
that for its weapon.
I know, but what else could they choose? Because that is the one thing, is that, remember, as someone who's played 11, you remember that originally there was more, you could use more than one type of weapon on a job.
Yeah.
But then they went and made that. They went and made that job switching in 14
based off the weapon.
But yeah, they made it based off the weapon. So what they would have used for Sage, they had already used. For Sage, what would you use? You would use a tome, right? So they already used that. They already used that for Summoner and Scholar.
What I would have recommended them doing was a magic wand and got rid of the little wands that White Mage had access to. Just deleted those items because nobody uses them.
They could.
Everybody uses rods.
They could just reclassify them what you should be using on a White Mage, which is a club.
Yeah.
So all you have to do is reclassify them as clubs and add a new category.
The rumor is they're saving clubs for like a Berserker class.
Which would be wrong, because a Berserker would dual wield one-handed axes.
Mm-hmm.
Which they haven't done, so they could easily do that.
Yeah. And I'm really surprised we don't have a one-handed axe class anymore.
I mean, they could technically do one-handed axe, because a one-handed axe would be what you'd use on a Beastmaster, and they haven't done a Beastmaster.
Mm-hmm.
So if they want to save that for later,
even
a club. But again, club should have been on White Mage.
Mm-hmm.
Zeke, what's up?
Hey Zeke, welcome to the stream, man. We're discussing the hodgepodge mess of WoW and how it's kind of going away and 14 is taking over.
Yeah,
which I'm very happy about that.
Well, I love Zeke, you've played 14 with me before.
I won't lie. 14 has a more complicated battle combos and rotations and everything than what WoW has. and stuff, and that makes the difficulty for some people don't like it being so conga fluting where you gotta go through like a single battle. If maximum DPS rotation is like 30 buttons.
Yeah.
And
again, that used to be difficult. That used to be different. We remember where, back, like, in the days of BC and Wrath, where you had a full rotation.
World of Warcraft, the rotations on there are like maybe 10 combos.
Yeah, but that was like when they were. That was like a full rotation. Was like 10 or 11 skills back in the day.
Yeah,
I mean, now it's like 3, 4, maybe 5 skills.
And 14. Oh my god, I don't want to get into rotations for like ninja is ridiculous. Dancer is ridiculous. Gunbreaker is not the most friendly.
It's not supposed to be. It's also not supposed to be a tank. So
yes, don't get me started there because
again, they keep classifying jobs as the wrong type.
I was so happy when they announced Gunbreaker, and then when I saw it was a tank, I won't lie,
Zeke, you are really let down. I forget. Yeah, Zeke is a goon.
Oh, Dragoon is so much fun.
Yes, Goon is fun. Goon is fun.
Other than the fact Dragoon has the largest combo run because you have a 5-action run and then you switch to another 5-action run.
Have you played Summoner?
Oh, I don't want to start with Summoner.
I would say, you're talking to a Summoner, man. Don't get me started on my rotation.
Yes, Dragoon, flashy as all get out.
Yes, very much so. Very much so.
And I really enjoy it. And stuff. Because I have one level 70 Dragoon on Artoria.
Well, again, with what we're just seeing happening with the Stydian and Endwalker, it's about to be a little more interesting.
Oh yeah.
It's about to be a little more interesting. Zeke, I don't know if you've seen the trailer for Endwalker, but you should be coming back. Come back to 14.
Dragoon's going to be one of the main classes.
Dude, Endwalker, we're going to the moon. Straight up FF4.
Mm-hmm. And I am so excited. But I am so going Reaper main.
Yeah, I want to try it Reaper.
And so, I love my Gunbreaker. And I really love my Monk. Because those are like my main things right now. Is Monk and Gunbreaker.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dancer is my secondary. Or third,
I was working on Dancer a little bit, but not much.
And then I was really hoping that they had, since Shadowbringer was centered around Dark Knight, I was really hoping that they had fixed a lot of the issues with Dark Knight. Their tanking and stuff. But nope, they're still so squishy for a plate-wearing class.
Yes, but Dark Knights have always been on the squishy side, even though they do wear plate or steel.
They are.
But that's
their only usefulness is in a only time they're not squishy, and that's in a magic heavy fight.
Yes.
Then they are the sturdiest freaking tank there is.
Oh yeah. But again, that's mainly stemming from the whole fact that they're supposed to use their own health to increase their strength. So.
Bard, yeah, Bard. I like Bard.
So, mana battery.
Oh, I really love Bard. It's a lot of fun. That's what my Rose or Rosie is.
I mean that's another one that messed
She's
up.
Bard.
Bard was supposed to be a support class, and they made it a damage class.
And it's more of a damage class than support. It's kind of
you haven't seen a Bard in 11.
Yeah, where Bard in 11 or Bard in other games that I've seen and stuff, they are strictly pretty much support only. They can do some damage, but it's pretty much just enough so they can. What damage they can do is meant so that you can level your character, where you can go out and grind on your own. But when it comes to raids and stuff, their damage is, not important. It's their buffs.
You're a support class and you're a puller.
Exactly. Now, I do like how they did do Dancer in 14. It still has a lot of support that it does.
Yes, but it still is at its base a frontline damage support.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they did make it range, it is
And
still
it
meant to be
does
frontline.
do, and it still does a significant amount of damage. I'm not
Yes,
going
it
to get
does.
wrong. And stuff. It is a mid-range damage class.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of your dances forces you to be a little bit closer to the
Little
boss,
closer,
so
yeah.
that the damage that they put out. Now, it would be more support style if your dances didn't deal a chunk of damage.
No, they do though. So
exactly, if they took away that damage, then it would be more support over DPS class.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would be more akin to what it was in 11 with Drain and Asper and Hey Samba.
Exactly. But because your two main dances both blast out a ton of freaking damage.
Mm-hmm.
And they are. That's your hardest hitting attack is your dances.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, it makes no sense. Because you're not even launching your weapons during those dances.
No, what you're doing on Dancer in those moments is obviously your dance partner should be someone who's frontline.
Yes, you always make sure your dance partner.
Yeah,
is
so what
frontline.
you're doing is the aura that you apply to your dance partner is what's exploding.
Yeah, that's where the DPS
that's where the damage is coming from. It's like, yes, you're not really touching the mob, but the aura around your dance partner is.
Yeah. And most people usually now with Dancer either put their dance partner as a Dragoon or a Black Mage.
Yes. Yes, because it affects magic as well.
Those two are so insane DPS, and
yes, you're going to choose someone who outputs high damage because it's proportional to their damage.
Or a Samurai is the other one that they'll target.
Yep.
Now that Samurai, now that they fixed Samurais again, right at the moment, Samurais are pretty freaking awesome.
Samurai, yeah, is,
and they should be. Samurai is a
Samurai should always be at
hardcore damage.
Samurai should always be high damage, high crit.
Samurai is the most powerful DPS class.
Yes.
In melee. Just like Black Mage is the strongest in range because they are a pure DPS.
Yes, and
Samurai doesn't even have. Samurai does no buffs for anybody else. They don't help anyone.
Nobody, just themselves.
All their buffs are for them. They are a very selfish class, and Black Mage is the same way. And that is why they are the strongest DPS classes and stuff. Because they are a zero supporting class. They are
actually that's actually a good thing that Zeke brought up. Is like we were talking about Gunbreaker, but yeah, Gunbreaker is a tank.
Yeah, and it should be a DPS.
And Samurai, yeah, actually Samurai's been pretty good since Stormblood came out, right? Yeah. So
it did have a time where it wasn't, where Ninja and Monk were kicking its butt on the charts.
Yeah, that was just Ninja,
and it's happened off and on.
Yes, depends on what's current content. Depends on what Monk and Ninja are doing. Depends on what's going on with Goon, even. Yeah,
Goon is usually the second best melee.
Usually, second best melee.
And then Samurai and Goon are always right there, neck and neck.
Yeah,
because Goon only has its eye buff that it does to help everybody, to help one person. You know, and that's awesome that they do have a way to help someone. They're not completely selfish, but they are still mostly selfish.
Mostly.
Where Monk and Ninja aren't very selfish because Monk has Brotherhood that helps all melee class. You know, all physical attacks, for which it also helps Bard and Dancer as well. And the tanks deal more damage. Now, Ninja is the most unselfish because its ability helps everyone. All damage is increased.
All damage.
Yeah. But it also has a tiny bit longer cooldown than what Brotherhood does. And that's what balances the two abilities. I will say though, Samurai, they have a very difficult opener. to max
They
out
do,
their...
and that's mainly just building up the first couple of runes. After you get that going,
And even then, it's still it is a crazy rotation.
Because it is a crazy rotation.
There are two different openers, a 5 sin and a 7 sin. And that 7 sin is almost impossible to do because you usually have to run away from the boss, and that messes up everything by that time. That's why I never learned the 7 sin. I said forget it, because most raid fights, there's not, the timing ain't gonna work. The timing just doesn't work. And I'm so glad that Monk now doesn't have Grease Lightning. That is so nice not to have to mess with that. Because that would hurt the Monk's DPS so much, having to try to restore Grease Lightning.
Yeah.
And stuff, but Monk's opener is so much easier, and it's so much more doable now with no Grease Lightning. That's why I went Monk main big time for my DPS class this time around.
Say if we're swapping character images, there's my lodestone, Zeke. Discord.
Let me bring it up here. Oops, I clicked the wrong button. Right button. Where'd you put it at in Discord?
Oh, I just sent to Zeke. Hang on.
Oh, you sent it over to Zeke. Okay. Yeah. Oops, wrong. Come on, back to there. Google Chrome. There. Yeah. I need to.
He says my character looks sick. And you've seen my character. You know what my summoner wears.
Oh yeah, you've got the Yuna.
You know what my you know what my summoner wears.
Oh yeah, definitely. Heck yeah. Guts to do the Yuna. Well, my Monk does that journeyman's Eastern journeyman's attire for Monk, for it looks so great for Monk. And then Gunbreaker, I'm using my stuff that looks like judge armor that I got from Eureka.
Yeah.
Because of the whole that they've gone down of, we are royal guardsmen is what a Gunbreaker is and stuff. And my blade is called the Crown's Guard. So I'm like, okay. And it gets me. The weapon is called a Crown's Guard, and Crown's Guard comes from Final Fantasy 15. That's what, the guys that were with Noctis were called. They were his Crown's Guard. But yet, none of them used the Gunblade.
No.
That would have been cool if one of them used Gunblade. I would have loved Ignis if he had used Gunblade instead of daggers. Even though daggers were still pretty cool. And so I really love daggers in 15.
Yeah.
My Noctis was almost always fighting with daggers.
And Zeke, just say the word. You know we're on Exodus, right? Reactivate your sub and just say the word. That's it. We'll get you up to 80. We'll crack. Especially if you're 70. That's just 10 levels.
Oh, yeah. And I'll get my account reactivated here after the first of the month. And so if I just haven't had them, I've been using the money for other things.
Yes.
But I definitely want to get back into 14 again. And get my characters, finish my story and everything and stuff, and get myself into pretty good gear so I'm really set when the expansion comes out. I can't wait.
I know, I've been waiting for Endwalker.
Because the moment I can create my Reaper, I'm going to be so happy. Or the moment I can...
Oh, he's logging in now?
Get Reaper.
Are you on the right server, Zeke? Or were you still on Lamia?
Need to be on Exodus.
Oh, so yeah, I think when I played with you, we were on Lamia still.
Yeah, our guild is on Exodus. And though I think if we start getting a lot more people active on there, we're going to have to tell Dee Dee and them the guild hall has to turn back into a guild hall.
I know. I know we'll have to reappropriate.
Or we will have to tell them we need the downstairs to be a guild hall. More guild
Again,
hall
yeah,
style.
well, not even that, but they have their own properties, so
Yeah.
if they need to do something, they can use their own.
Exactly.
But yeah,
because
to get more people, we're gonna have to clean the house back.
Our officer meeting room is my bedroom, my private quarters.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing in there is our round table.
I only got a couple pieces myself.
And so, I mean, RP's okay and all, but I just have a hard time really getting into it.
Mm-hmm.
I used to love RP back in World of Warcraft. I played on a RP PvP server for a reason, because I loved RP and I loved PvP. And I played on the most popular one, Emerald Dream, where one of the best pro guilds in World of Warcraft at that time was. And that was, gosh, I can't remember their name now. And they were huge. Because they were pro. They were getting paid to play the darn game.
I don't remember who they were for Emerald Dream.
Oh, I was on the number 3 raid guild, which was Courage.
I heard Courage.
Mm-hmm. I was the Holy Pally for Courage.
You're on Fairy? Is that even on our data center?
I left Courage during the Colosseum fights during Wrath of the Lich King. And stuff, because I started out as a Holy Pally and then I eventually became a Resto Shaman. And stuff, I switched over to Resto. And stuff, because we found another guy that was also a Holy Pally, and the team knew he only was a Holy Pally, and the team knew that I had a Resto Shaman that was geared and stuff that I played on the side and stuff, and they're like, Roku. Well, at that time, my name was Max.
I was say, dang it, he's over on Ether, we're on Primal.
Oh, and they had me switch over to playing my Resto Shaman so we'd have more AoE style healing and stuff because of good old chain heal.
Oh, yep, Zeke knows.
Oh, I love Holy Pally, though. The best direct healer there is, man. And I played in the day when Holy Pallies didn't have anything for mana regen.
No.
And stuff. In BC and Wrath, we didn't have mana regen. So you want to know what we stacked? We stacked crit. Because that was the only way we regened mana. Was if we landed a crit heal, we got 60% of the mana back. And that was our lifesaver. And then on top of that, I was an alchemist. So I would go in with a couple hundred mana pots. Because back then, you could pop more than one mana pot per fight. Where now you can only drink one.
Yep.
And then it's on cooldown until you die or the fight ends. Where back then, you could pop one, it was on cooldown for 60 seconds. And then you could pop another one. And as Holy Pallies, that's what we did. We were popping them every 60 seconds. So I'd go into a raid night with 300 mana pots and maybe come out with 20 left. But of course, that was doing Black Temple and
let's not talk about Temple. Let's not talk about Temple.
I love Temple.
Oh, I love Temple, but let's just not bring it up.
When things got hard was when we started doing Sunwell. When we finally got to kill Jaden, we were able to beat him 2 days before the content patch for Wrath came out and it got nerfed. So we were able to beat him while he was still hard.
I know. I took him down. I took him down pre-nerf, and people kept saying it was hard. I'm like, this is not hard. Like,
what was hard was positionings.
Yes, if one person fucked up, that was it.
Oh yeah,
Yep,
because
just one would take down the entire team.
The first two stages of the fight were so rough because if people didn't get back into their positions correctly, you'd kill the person next to you.
Yep.
Including yourself.
And yeah, you were down 2. Anytime one person fucked up, you were immediately down 2 because it was splash.
And the splash damage amplified by if it hit more people.
Yes.
More people.
Yeah, it could potentially be more than 2. Yeah.
And stuff. That
could potentially be 3-4 people down fucking in 1 second. Like,
oh yeah, it would down 2 people, especially if you were leather wearers and cloth wearers. You were dead instantly.
You were dead. Too much damage. You were dead.
So that's what I liked about being a holy paladin. We wore plate.
Yes.
When we took a hit, it wasn't that big of a deal. I'd get hit by stuff sometimes on purpose just so that I wouldn't accidentally let someone else get hit. Or I'd take the hit for someone.
Doing your job.
So that was the whole point of the Holy Pally back then. You were, a damage soaker.
You're an absorption tank.
And so if you go out and you soak damage for the people that wear cloth so that they don't have to take the damage. And then on top of that, you healed the tanks. Each of us were assigned to one tank.
Well, yeah.
And that was all that we healed.
Well, yeah, it's freaking way too dang big, Zeke. They have a lot of servers. And yes, can't forget Leroy.
Oh, yeah.
Can't forget good old Leroy.
I actually did meet him once.
Oh, yeah.
It was pretty awesome talking with him in game once.
Yep.
And stuff.
I knew him since before the time.
I also had several GM friends back in Wrath of the Lich King days because I was when I left Courage and made my own guild with a friend from another guild that was in Echoes of War. He left his guild, I left my guild, and we made our own. And we made Gold Rush, which was a very small guild. We had like maybe 20 people in it. But the point of it was for doing gold DKP. And stuff. We built literally groups of random people and stuff that would sign up on it on a special form that we made and everything. We even had special add-ons that we programmed for it to handle the auctioning of the items. And so I was filthy rich from gold DKP. And I was loaded with awesome gear. And stuff.
Believe me, I know.
I had full... At the end of Wrath, me and my buddy, we were both rogues.
Okay. Let me tell you this. Back in our Wrath days for Nightbrood, our guild, I guess you could say the guild secretary.
Yeah.
Also the treasurer, kind of. Let's just say was a Jew. So you can kind of see how that went together. And how we made our money.
Oh, yeah.
Because they knew how to manipulate the economy. There was a while on Bloodhoof, which was our server at the time. You couldn't buy nothing.
Our guild had no problem with money because the way we ran the gold DKP. Because at the end of the run, you'd split the pot that was from everybody's money that was used to buy everything. So if you didn't buy any gear, you got gold at least at the end. And stuff. And we'd split the pot instead of 25 ways, we'd split it 26. Because that 26 went to the
last
guild
one was for the guild bank. Yep,
that was our expense. And our guild was loaded with money at the end. And stuff. Now, note, we supplied flasks. We didn't charge people for flasks. We had flasks. We had the potions, the buff potions and stuff. Because, like, us rogues, we would pop the attack potion like 2 seconds before the poll happened, so that the cooldown would reset again, and we would be able to use another one during the fight, during the main push on the fight and stuff. And me and my other friend Xeno Rage was his name, the guy that was my
Exodus
GM and stuff. We both were rogues. And we were both the number 1 PvE rogues. We were both tied at the end of Wrath of the Lich King on Emerald Dream. Mm-hmm. We were full heroic gear. Every single piece with the best gems, best enchants, everything. We were totally badass. Everybody was all... I'd log in and boom, my chat would be spammed with whispers. Hey, want to run this? Want to run this? Want to run this? I'm like, I wish I could log in invisible. I wish that was an option.
They have it now.
Yeah, they
do. Way
too
freaking late.
God. But back then I would have loved that option. Because there'd be times I'd log in and all I wanted to do was go pick herbs. Because that was back when herbalism added the haste buff that you could pop.
Yep.
As another cooldown. And that was huge for rogues and stuff. I was assassination and God, I was awesome at it. And then I also was freaking amazing at my Affliction Warlock, even though Affliction technically wasn't the best DPS. But the way I played it, I was still in the top 3 DPS every time. And people be like, how are you doing that with Affliction? You just have to know how to play it.
Yep.
You know? I'm just badass. Affliction. And Affliction was the only class that I've ever liked on Warlock. Because it was great for mobility.
Mm-hmm.
Just like as I later on, when it come to my favorite healer, I ended up becoming Druid became my favorite healer. Because once again, mobility. I like mobility. Classes that can move around and still do stuff. Only have to stand still for a few seconds to quickly run a cast and run, and then you still have tons of instant casts that you can just go, you know? It's like, take this, take this, take this. But man, that's why I love that's one thing I love about like Dancer and Bard when it comes to range DPS on 14. Because those you don't have to stand still for.
No, not for too long.
I like being able to move. You know, that's why Black Mage is okay, but you have to stand and cast a ton.
You have to stand still.
Yeah, and same thing with Red Mage, and Red Mage really shouldn't be that.
I know.
Let's not talk about that can of worms. Red Mage is nice, but it should be a lot more melee than what it is. It should be fighting at melee.
Yep.
The entire time. You should be casting spells. You should be having elemental energy on your sword. You know? And what elemental energy is on your sword determines what type of damage or what it's going to do. Let's say if you had ice elemental on it, it would cause slowing effects. You know? Fire would be a damage boost. Lightning would have a paralyzing effect. Since we don't have elemental damage in 14, you know, like in 11, if you're going up against a monster that's weak to fire, you fight with the fire on it, you know, and so forth. We don't have elemental weaknesses in 14, but when I first saw Red Mage, I thought it was a melee class.
Supposed to be.
So when I first started out playing it, I was fighting using the sword slashes a whole ton, you know, for my attacks. And I'm like, and not using my spells as much until I saw other people in parties and stuff. And I'm like, oh, I've really been doing this wrong. No wonder why I'm having hard times killing shit. This sucks.
Oh, Red Mage. Zeke brings up a good point. That influx, that spike we saw on the charts. Yep. Again, we always expect a spike when an expansion comes out.
Because I actually have a ton of charts pulled up that we will look at here
to look at. And the problem with that is, at its peak, how many players did World of Warcraft have at its peak?
Actually, I can kind of look at that. Because I have a long-term chart that really goes deep. Well, it goes clear back to January of 2019. And the highest peak time.
Okay, Zeke, you just said 5.8 mil, 13 mil. I would say last I heard it was 11, but it's probably 13 because when I heard it was 11,
it
was
hasn't
like
been that high in the last 2 years.
Yeah,
the highest has been
now, and again, yeah,
6.8.
Yeah, 13 million active users, peak player 5.8. Okay, so 13 million active users. Now what we can actually say is just in April this year, Final Fantasy 14 hit 22 million.
Mm-hmm.
That just goes to show you the growth after it was redone in A Realm Reborn.
Mm-hmm.
And
the problem was so many people, after seeing 14 when it first came out, messed with it and then didn't come back after it was so horrible. You know? And then they came, now everybody's realized, oh, it's really changed. And now it's growing like crazy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ah, welcome to Exodus.
Yes, yes.
That way now you can, Aideth can get on, because I can't invite him into the company at the moment. Oh, and I doubt. Let me see. No, Dee Dee's not on. He's probably at work.
Probably.
Yeah. Like, I can, like, here on this chart, yeah, February was the highest in the last 2 years, February of 2019, at almost 7 million active people on World of Warcraft. Where right now, on Final Fantasy 14, this is where we set at literally right at this moment. Look how many active characters right at this moment and stuff when this last updated earlier today. And then World of Warcraft currently has like 70,000 that is active at the moment. That is just crazy. So it just proves everybody likes 14. It has better graphics. The character models are so much nicer, more customization to your character models. And then just the combat is so much flashier and prettier and cooler, you know? Instead of just most of WoW's just different slightly different swing animations, and that's it. The only really WoW character that has a flair to how it fights is Demon Hunter, and that's just because it's the newest and stuff. And that's the reason why I play Demon Hunter over all the others.
What happens when every time I log on anywhere? The DD is in fact online.
Oh, he's just not active in Discord right now.
Mm-hmm.
Or he's invisible in Discord. He has himself set to invisible. But I didn't check to see. Oh, he's actually sitting all by himself.
I saw all the news. It's everywhere.
DD is sitting all by himself in reverse harem in Abby's Discord.
Mm-hmm. Let me know where you're located, Zeke.
But I was considering going back and playing some of the new WoW and stuff, because now they have the talent system back again.
Mm-hmm.
And everything, especially when I got my last stimulus, I was going to go ahead and pay for it and everything. And then I'm like, I just can't bring myself to really dive back into the WoW rabbit hole. You know, if I'm going to stay in an MMO rabbit hole, I'm going to play on a game that looks amazing, you know, just like I wish Solo looks amazing, but it's, let's not go there. I love how the game looks. It's had a couple patches already done to it, but it's still only one North American server. I got on and it's still, if you're in the main city, it is so laggy. You rubber band like crazy and stuff. And I'm like, I just can't do this. Even in my sword, I forget what my class area is, quite rubber bandy of everybody trying to do their quests, their sword, their training and stuff. They need more than one server. I thought it was stupid that Solo started off with only one server for North America. I'm going to hopefully here in a few months go back, and it should hopefully be a little better, I pray.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a game we will be revisiting.
Yes.
But between now and then, we've got other games to play. Like New Genesis.
Yes, we have still not yet done New Genesis.
I've done the intro part.
I haven't even updated mine.
It is long. It is a very long intro part, but it's got a really good story to it. And everything, kind of actually sad story. And everything.
Mm-hmm.
But it's pretty good. So I got to the point where I could finally go back to the classic, zone, because I was wanting to go finish my sword art stuff and realized the event had ended. But I just love the level of character customization. The only thing I wish Final Fantasy would adopt is the way WoW does their glamour system. The way WoW does their stuff
they have it through glamour. It's just it shouldn't need items.
Yes, the items shouldn't
shouldn't need items just to change.
Yeah, because on WoW, once you've picked up the item, and either it's soul bounded to you, or just having the item, depending on if it's a bind on equip or just bind on pickup,
mm-hmm.
and stuff, or an unbinding item. But once it's bound, boom, you have it unlocked. And now you have that glam. It's not actually called a glamour. I forget what it's called in WoW actually now.
Transmog.
Transmog, yes, that's it. That's my only complaint with 14. If we didn't have to keep the items and have them take up so much inventory space. I have way too much inventory space wasted with just my glamour stuff. It's actually quite sad how much inventory space is wasted, because I have my entire armoire completely filled.
Yeah.
Or whatever, the glam thing, chest or table. It's completely full. Then I have an entire tab, one of the tabs of my personal inventory full of stuff for glamour.
Again, square storage, please.
Yeah. They need to give us more storage on our retainers.
More open
that we don't have to pay money for.
And more open storage, please, because the armor, the armoire itself has a very restricted list of things that you can actually put in it.
Yes, and I really do not like that. I should be able to put anything in there.
Mm-hmm. Should have treated it exactly like the storage boxes worked in 11.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter what you put in it unless it's a wardrobe.
And the ones in 11 had such a nice amount of space in
80 slots per bag.
Yes, we don't have that in WoW, unfortunately. I mean, not WoW, damn it. In 14. There are a lot more.
64 now?
Yeah. And like my retainers are so full of crap.
That's actually not a bad idea, but isn't there one in your room?
And so my retainers are so full of just glamour stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because I use so many different glams and I don't want to sell the stuff or delete it or whatever, and then realize, oh, I want that piece again. That would be a great piece now. And then have to go and waste money on it and probably pay 3 times what it cost me originally. Or if originally I got it for free, or have to go farm a freaking boss 1,000,000 times for him to drop the darn thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called, okay, I just build up everything. And then there's some items like, the armor that you get for completing the, in the very beginning, the level 15 armors. When you do that training course, where you get that's your first really nice looking plate armor and leather armor and caster armor and stuff. That stuff, you can't get that again if you get rid of it.
I know.
And so those, of course, are taking up a good amount of chunks because I have all 3 of them. And that's almost a page of storage by itself in my retainer.
Okay, yeah. Now they're throwing StarCraft memes out in the freaking.
Oh, it is just a total mess, to put it straight.
Yeah,
definitely.
Very much so.
Oh man, be happy if I can ever get over this bloody chest cold.
Mm-hmm.
But it is getting better.
Yep.
But just driving me nuts.
Do you want to switch over to the Minecraft topic?
Yeah,
Has Create been updated finally?
I think we have drove World of Warcraft into the ground.
Yes, we have.
14. Yeah, we'll definitely move on to our next topic for discussion, and that's going to be Minecraft. The new Create mod had a huge update and stuff. One of the big things, Block Zapper no longer exists. So that means you don't have a, builder's wand type tool in it. It's only available in creative mode and it's called a world edit zapper or something. And stuff. And it's got a lot more features on it, but it's meant only for creative. Another big thing, the Extendo grip, it has durability now. But there is a way to get around it because we now have some other really new awesome things. We now have an air tank that unfortunately takes up a chest slot when you're wearing it, but when that's equipped and filled up with air, your Extendo grip won't take any damage when using it. And to top it off, that air tank is also useful for something major. And that's the scuba helmet. We have water breathing. And then you can put on these weighted scuba boots that will actually drag you clear down to the bottom ocean level, and it'd be like walking on regular ground while you're down there. With a little bit higher jump, you have a 1.5 block jump. So it'd be almost like moonwalk style, But you still move at normal speed, but when you jump, you do have a little bit higher jump. But that's really nice. I'm really liking that. Then, I'm trying to remember all the other changes. Those were the really big ones. They now have a quick crafting thing, a blueprint thing that you can put up on a wall, and you program a recipe into it. It has 9 slots per each one, and it's crafted literally with an item frame and a crafting table. And you program the recipes, and as long as you have the materials in your inventory, you just walk up and right-click on what item you want to craft, and boom, it pops into your inventory. So it makes it easy for early game speed crafting, especially like making your cogs and your belts and your andesite casings and all that sort of stuff. It makes making all that stuff so easy. Just walk up and start right-clicking, through all the stages. All you gotta do is walk up with the base materials and just start click, 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 boom, I have what I need. Super quick. So very useful for especially the early game until you start automating some of the crafting processes. Then they also reduced the amount of stress the mechanical arms put on your system. Because before the mechanical arms, you pretty much had to have a flywheel system going to have the stress to run them.
Yeah.
And then now you don't need that. It's a lot bigger because mechanical arms are huge for storage sorting and stuff, because that's how you do a storage system that if you don't have another mod that gives you a better storage system. So, but it definitely improves upon the old hopper locking system and stuff from vanilla, which is nice, especially since they have the fuzzy filters that you can put in, where literally you type in redstone and then put that filter into the item funnel. Guess what? It's going to put any items that are related to redstone into that chest. That means your repeaters, observers, redstone dust, all that will be put into that chest and stuff. So all your redstone goodies are in a single chest, just like that. Boom, done. I really like those. Those filters are really nice for when you want multiple items and you don't want to have to sit there and program the filter for each item. You just use the fuzzy filter.
Yep.
And stuff. But man, there's a few other things. Trying to remember everything right now off the top of my head. There was so much stuff added. And quickly pulling up the basic list on. The circuit that was originally used to make a lot of the stuff that required lapis plates and stuff, that circuit no longer exists. You have to make this crazy circuit that you have to use deployers to smash parts onto a gold plate, and it smashes the gears and everything into it. And there is a chance that they will fail and not smash in and stuff. And it is interesting how that system plays out. And then the new config system, that's another huge change too. Because now you can configure the stuff for like your servers or single player worlds a lot easier. And I've been really looking into a lot of that. And now you can also place water wheels horizontally now. Instead of they only could be placed vertically. And that makes it where you can make some really interesting like generator stuff. Because this one guy that I've watched, he makes some really cool power generators and stuff using water wheels for it. Because water wheels are actually not that bad. They just don't pump out a whole ton of RPM. But they do have a decent stress capacity. And you can stack them up practically infinitely. And stuff. Now you can stack them up like this. And not just like this. And then build a shroud around them that makes them look like an engine. And stuff is the way he did it. But with them getting into utilizing air and air tanks and stuff, that is, we're getting closer and closer to steam power. And I'm really looking forward to steam power. Because that is one of the big things. Because of, the mod's pretty much steampunk in style. But yet, we don't use steam. Come on, we need steam. I keep saying we need an awesome custom way to build a multi-block boiler system and then a turbine to put the steam through and stuff. But like one of the cool things with the new config system You can change how many blocks is required to create an infinite like lava source or infinite chocolate or honey or whatever. Because normally it requires you have a massive pool of lava that needs to be at least 10,000 blocks of lava in it, 10,000 sources. And then you use your hose pulley and it would become infinite lava pumping out of it. But now you can configure that to different. Like in the single player test world that I've been doing for the new SMP that I'm working towards launching soon, I've configured it to only requiring 512 blocks, so 8 by 8 by 8, in order to gain infinite and stuff. Because before, the only thing you could do infinite was water, and you didn't need to have 10,000 blocks of water to have infinite water. Thank God, because that would have sucked if water had been required under those terms.
Mm-hmm.
But just imagine you build a glass tank and fill it up with 512 buckets of honey, then boom, you have infinite honey. You know, same with milk or liquid chocolate and stuff.
Yeah.
Which would be really easy. It would help with like honey making the glazed apples, which is one of the create foods. You know, build that underneath of a shop, that tank, and then you just have it coming up and pumping onto your apples for glazed apples to sell. You know, and only needing to be at 8 by 8 by 8, or don't even have to be that. It just needs to be 512 source blocks with the way mine's configured. But also now you can configure ore generation and stuff all in game. You don't have to go out to the configs. That is my favorite part with these changes. You don't have to mess with the configs at all now. You can configure it in game. It's a lot helpful for us pack designers.
Yeah.
And stuff. But there are just so many new features that they have added and stuff. Just they haven't added the Steam. I want Steam power.
I know, we need Steam.
And they've said that is on their list. Oh yeah, a multi-controlling. You know how you have your redstone links? Now you can make a controller that you can carry in your hand, or you can put it down on a lectern, and it will control up to 6 redstone links.
Ooh.
That is super nice.
That's gonna be super nice. Oh, ideas already, man. Ideas already.
Oh yeah, it's gonna make doing redstone stuff so crazy insane. Because all you gotta do is walk up to like this control area with them placed on lecterns and start pushing the buttons and controlling your like huge factory from this one little like controller hub. You know,
that's gonna be perfect for your factory, like hands down.
Yep, I walk in, I walk up, okay, and have a sign and know that, okay, this controller is for, okay, I walk up and just start pushing the button like several times, and here comes a whole ton of black concrete right at my feet, you know, or right into my storage area. All I gotta do is walk up and just start, instead of having to have a button for each, I can have them all tied to a single. I can have up to 6 things on a controller.
Okay, you gotta put one there now. There needs to be a massive red button that does nothing.
Yeah. Another huge mod update. Finally, the chisel mod. We have it.
Good.
So that's gonna make doing just steampunk style builds so much cooler with all the factory blocks and everything from Chisel. I am ecstatic. Yeah, have a big red button that's the emergency shutdown. You know, have a sign on it, slap red dye on the sign saying, do not push unless emergency. They need to make a way where we can dye buttons. Now, in my pack, at least the builder pack, we did have a red button because of security craft and stuff, a big red button. I may have to look into seeing if there's just a simple button mod for this other pack, because this other one I'm making is strictly based around create. It has no other little extras. You know, no simple storage network, none of that. It's all about the create mod, with the exception of I did put building gadgets in it
and
stuff, just because we no longer have block zapper. So we need a replacement. So it's called, okay, building gadgets.
Yep.
And then I installed the mod that allows me to use create to make RF to be able to power the charger for the building zapper, you know? So we can get our power from the create mod instead of having to just put tons of coal into the charging thing and stuff to feed the generator to give power to the charger. Yeah. So, but I definitely looking forward to getting this new SMP going. I've been testing the pack. I've been doing the streams though really early morning though for the tests, just because where I live this last week has been really ridiculously hot. And it's just been too hot to stream in the afternoon. Today is a good day because it rained and stuff last night and it dropped down to the 60s.
Yeah.
Stuff, because like right now it is 88 degrees where I live.
Yeah, I'm enjoying a cool 70 right now.
I'll pop it up right here just to show kind of the basic mod list that I'm kind of using for the new thing and stuff. And the mod that makes this SMP very unique is I'm using the Caves and Cliffs backport, for which gives us all of the blocks and the way the ores and everything work in 117 in 116, so that we have access to all the goodies. Like, and the nice thing is the copper ore works with create and stuff. So yeah, won't need to make iron generators and stuff like that, because you just fortune everything and then put it then again through the create system, and then you have a chance to get even more from your mining. Pretty awesome. That's all I have to say. That's why in my world I've already shut off the copper generation for the create mod. Don't need copper generating because it's already a ton of copper just from vanilla. On it, which is a huge thing. But I did end up, I at first wasn't putting tinkers in, but then as I realized you needed some better tools. So tinkers went in, and tinkers has changed even more since we were playing it on the builders pack. I'm a little disappointed. Lapis no longer, you can't put lapis on your tools to get fortune.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, you actually have to do a regular enchant for fortune. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that's a little rough. Redstone still works for haste, thank goodness, but lapis doesn't work anymore. And I'm not exactly the happiest about that, but
no,
I'll live with it.
We need that fortune.
Yep. But oh, it is pretty awesome. Shoot, I'm still sweating in my room right now, but nowhere near as bad as it was yesterday, the day before that, and the day before that. And stuff. The heat has just been so bad. I live in a trailer house, so it turns into an oven inside, and our AC doesn't shut off all day long. And even with it running full blast, we're hot. Only way to stay cool, we have to stay in front of a fan. And so, because like I have my itty bitty fan right here that I keep at my desk, and stuff. And it's actually powered off of one of my USB ports. It's literally a USB little fan that's pretty nice. I got old-fashioned style metal blade fan because it just looks cool.
I have one of those that plugs in the wall.
Yeah. And so it works for at least keeping, I blow it across my hands and my keyboard mostly, so my hands and stuff aren't all sweaty and icky and stuff while I'm playing. And everything. But yeah, the crate mod has a lot of new stuff going on with it, and my only complaint is they still need to do the wax system for their copper blocks as they age, so we can freeze them in their place, like vanilla does, and the backport does that. That's one of the main reasons why I did the backport, put that in there, so I can have copper slabs and stairs to begin with, and I can freeze them at the different stages for making my gorgeous copper roofs. Oh, I love copper. That's the main reason why I started playing the vanilla and stuff there when it came out right away. So I'm like, oh my god, copper.
That's exactly why we tried it. The copper. Exactly
I'm
why
like,
we tried it.
That was my whole reason for playing it. Okay, let's move on to the next big topic on our list for today, and that is Ghost Hunter Corp. And stuff. That is just huge. I mean, it's awesome game. It's still buggier than hell. They're still having people are finding every way they can to break it and stuff, because the ghost can break down doors. So people have been Ensign has a video where he did all sorts of crazy stuff with doors and going places where you're not supposed to, like out of the zone, out of the boundary and stuff, and discovering, like, in one of the zones, the buildings that are on the street and stuff are actually just one wall. That's it. It's not actually a building, but you can't tell that as long as you're in the boundary. But once you're out of the boundary, oh, these aren't actually buildings at all. It's just a single wall with windows and stuff. And he's literally went clear to the edge of the map and walked off and fell into oblivion. And if you do that, it starts glitching out the game menu like crazy.
He's just continually making it worse because.
Oh yeah, and he's now showing everybody how to do it.
I would say he's obviously done. I mean, if he went out of bounds, you're not supposed to. I mean, that's the whole point.
But it's pretty awesome.
I'm certain if he had continued playing and would not have gone out of bounds, it probably would have been fine.
And there's crazy ways, because there's a rotate where you can rotate objects, because you have to carry objects out of the house and put them in your RV. And stuff, and sometimes they need to be rotated so they'll fit through doorways.
Yeah, they're actually doing things properly.
You can rotate doors while they're still attached to the house. Start rotating around,
in terms of like down the middle and like this way.
Yeah, when you let go, the door pops back to its original position because it's still
obviously, yeah. So they need to make some variables that don't let you do it on a door.
Yeah, so what happens is he'll bring up a door sideways, or
that just sounds a little lazy.
Kind of like at a ramp, and get your character just right, and when it snaps back to its original position, it launches you.
Yep.
Literally, it sends you into orbit.
Okay, yeah. Yep. Yep.
Or it will smack you down through the map, and you're falling into the void.
Needs some work.
Oh, yeah. But the actual game itself is freaking amazing. The concept and stuff, being able to hunt ghosts and exercise them and everything, and the different difficulties are a lot better now since they finally scaled the pay on them better and stuff. Right before launch, they got the pay scaled better, so it made more sense to do the higher difficulties, because at first there for a little bit, regular difficulty and norm and hard difficulty, the payout was the same and stuff, and it was just pointless. And then extreme, you got double pay, for which was okay, but it still just was not enough. So what they did, they made hard double pay and extreme triple 3 times pay, which makes so much more sense. And so I'm really ecstatic, and I can't wait till we actually get on there and play as in a co-op game on there. It's going to be a lot of fun and stuff. I'm hoping this coming Friday night to do that and stuff. Do a Friday night Fright Night. We'll do our normal Friday fantasy and stuff. Probably this week I really want to do New Genesis and stuff. So Aideth, update your game.
I'm doing that later.
That way we can dive into New Genesis and have some fun there. I really want to explore it because all I've done is just the intro with Echo. But on Friday, I'll start off and do with Roku the intro through it and then switch to Echo. I'm sorry. Echo's my girl for on there. I just love her, my gothic Lolita machine woman. That's a mouthful. But I just love her. I've put so much time and effort and a lot of work into getting her outfit.
I know.
You know?
A lot of money.
The massive twin tails that goes almost clear to her ankles and stuff. That hairstyle cost me an arm, a leg, and a kidney.
A lot of us said it.
Yeah, it was $40 million. Thank God I had gotten 2 hairstyles out of scratchers that happened to be 40 mil a piece themselves.
Yep, you got lucky on those.
And then when I sold them, I was so tickled, and I went and bought her hairstyle so quickly. I'm like, I'm not going to give it a chance to go up anymore.
Nope.
Because when it first came out, it was only 20 mil, but now that scratcher's gone, so then it jumped to 40 mil for that hairstyle.
Yep.
And I'm like, I can't miss out on it because I really wanted the complete look and stuff to go with it. Yeah, on the Ghost Hunter Corp, the co-op is still a little buggy, but it's a lot better than it was. The only thing that sucks with multiplayer on Ghost Hunter Corp is you can only play it with like your Steam buddies and stuff. There isn't an open lobby where where random people can join you.
That's honestly better
and stuff. So it makes it a little bit harder to get.
I honestly prefer a private to open.
Oh, I always prefer private anyway. I mean, come on, I've never done it open on Phasmo.
No, those are those are the kind of games where you really cannot rely on random people.
Especially on Phasmo, I'm always afraid to get that one kid or that one jerk that is going to be in the closet with me, push his open talk button, and then say something and get us killed.
Yep, it's exactly because it's exactly what's going to happen.
And stuff. And
I mean, we can completely backpedal onto previously where you do not want to shout for randos in WoW or 11. You don't want to do the same thing in any of these games.
Exactly. So, and then to top it off, there's another game coming out this winter that is pretty much a much better. It's a blend of Ghost Hunter Corp and Phasmophobia, but on a much better level. They're putting a lot more detail into it. So it's really, when they were showing some of the demo footage of it and stuff on Psycho's channel. And so he's one of the other huge Phasmo content creators and stuff. It looks cool and stuff. Ghost Hunter is pretty neat, but this one I think is Ghost Hunter is just going to die from, because this one's probably going to kill it because it follows more realistic terms. Because come on, in real life we do not have neutron blasting guns.
No.
I know why they put that in Ghost Hunter Corp, because it's a throwback to Ghostbusters. But this one's going to follow a much more realistic process. And to top it off, your people in your party in this one have jobs. That means when people join it, you pick a job.
Mm-hmm.
Either a demonologist, a tech specialist, and each person, I forget what else there was, a priest. You can be a civilian, or you can be a reporter. Those are 4 of them, and there's like 5 or 6. I can't remember what the others are. But like, the tech specialist is the one I like because you can carry more items on you.
Mm-hmm.
You have a bigger inventory and stuff. Priest, there are some jobs that you just have to have, and you're going to have a priest.
Mm-hmm.
Just for the fact of priests can help control the ghost, and they help make the exorcism process a heck of a lot easier. Oh yeah, also in this game, you can get possessed by the ghost. Mm-hmm. And when you get possessed by the ghost, that's going to be interesting. Your other people with you are going to have to figure out that you're possessed. And stuff, because you won't even realize you're possessed at first. It's a slow, and also it has a scaling. The longer you're in the hunt, the harder it becomes. And stuff. The ghost gets even more and more and more aggressive the longer. And everything. I'm really looking forward to this one. This one's going to Ghost Hunter Corp sounds fun. It's going to be fun and all, but this one's going to be the one that's going to give Phasmo even a run for its money from the looks of it and stuff. Phasmo's going to have we already know they're stepping up their game in Phasmophobia and stuff, and that's very important and stuff because they needed to big time because they're still using a lot of basic Unreal Image graphics and everything. And now that they have a graphic designer on the team, that's going to really change.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff. And in the Phasmo Discord, they've posted some of the images of the new gear, the new way gear is going to look and stuff, the reworks of the new items and stuff, which is going to be really cool. Like, some of them look awesome. And like, flashlight is going to be upgradable, and it's going to go through stages from the basic flashlight, a bigger beam flashlight, then a flashlight that you can control your beam, kind of like a mag light and stuff. So if you want pinpoint looking at something, you can do, or you can spread the beam out for a wider light source, and then a headlamp and stuff, which is pretty cool. I definitely want the headlamp because then I don't have to waste a regular inventory slot for a flashlight.
Yeah,
I'd rather have a headlight over the head cam, you know. And if you use headlight, you can't use a head cam.
Yeah,
it's one or the other is what they've said there, which is fine with me. I'll take the headlight anytime. Even though head cam can be useful because then you don't have to mess with taking cameras into the house. You just have people stand still and you can look on the monitor to determine where the ghost orbs are and stuff. That's kind of one of the things that's kind of nice there. But I can't wait to see what all new goodies they bring to Phasmophobia. But Ghost Hunters Corp, it's still rough. They really need to get a couple more maps. Definitely is the issue right now because they only have 3 maps. They have a small, a medium, and a large, and that's it. They need at least another small map and stuff because I'm like, I already know the map layouts, at least for the first 2 and stuff, just from watching Ensign play them and stuff. And right now the game is pretty much you just camp the front door, and that's one of my complaints with the game. The ghost will always come running right to you and stuff. You can get all the evidence figured out at the front door. You don't have to start exploring the house until after you've, figured out all the evidence.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to explore the house if you're trying to find the occult items while the ghost is still alive, because you're not going to find them because they'll lose their occult reading once the ghost has been exorcised and stuff. And I do love that you don't go in with weapons. You rely solely on your Mary statue or your crucifix to keep you alive while you're wandering through the house.
Mm-hmm.
And the one other thing I also like with the way Ghost Hunter does, you can put your flashlight in your offhand, and then you can rotate stuff in your main hand to do stuff. So, another one in that other game, engineer is one of the other jobs that you can have for your character that a person can be. Mm-hmm. And that's like they can go in and fix light bulbs that the ghost has exploded and stuff, because in Ghost Hunter Corp, the ghost can explode the lights in the rooms, and then, that room you have to then use your flashlight when you're in there. And sometimes it's nice to have the lights on in the house, because then you don't have to carry the flashlight with you.
Mm-hmm.
You can keep a crucifix in your offhand the whole time to keep yourself alive while you're trying. And then you have your occult sniffer in your main hand trying to find the occult items.
Mm-hmm.
But, we're going to move on to our last topic, unless Aideth has anything else to say. Any updates on Nightbrood community?
Let's see here. Let me take a look. Where's my mouse? There's my mouse. All right. There's another bug. All right, yeah, there's nothing going on. At least nothing going on for public.
Okay, so no new special boss fights up or anything like that right at the moment. Because I know, who is it that loves to throw those lovely challenges at us?
Oh, yeah, you're talking about Vel.
Yes. When he loves to have his special...
Yeah, no new boss right now.
Insane bosses. Like, here you guys go, try to figure out how to kill this. I know I've been in on a couple of them, and dang. He says that there is a way to kill it, and I just look at it like, how? We've got 30 of us here, and it's going nowhere. Oh, one of those, I swear there was no way possible and stuff. Oh, that was just, I swear there was just absolutely not a way to do it.
Well, we're not really talking about Ashes of Creations, and one thing I will say is a warning to everybody: do not participate in the New World beta until the investigations are complete. Have you heard about this, Roku?
I have not.
The new game that was the new MMO that was made by Amazon, you remember? It is called New World. It went out of alpha into beta a couple of days ago. Now, started happening. People with 3090s were originally receiving crashing, and specifically it was for the Win 3090s, so EVGA.
Yeah.
Then it comes out that this is hard crashing, possibly damaging these 3090s.
Ooh.
So, at first glance, it looks like it's runaway FPS, because they would load the game, see a black screen, and their FPS would skyrocket into high thousands. Does not appear to be the issue. They put in on a frame limiter for the menus, but crashes are still happening. But here's also the kicker. It is affecting more than just 3090s. It is going all the way even into the 2000 series.
Oh.
So this is not a hardware issue. as far as we can tell. But something is happening. Something is doing something with New World. For now, it looks like it may be using a rarely used hardware call in terms of DirectX, and it may just not be implemented correctly in the NVIDIA driver. We don't know. But also, here's another thing. It's also affecting Radeon cards. It's not just affecting NVIDIA. People with 6800 XTs and everybody. So, beware. Do not try to play New World. If you crack, I mean, if you blow up your own card, it's your fault.
Oh, yeah. Oh my god.
If you've watched any gaming news, even beyond this, any tech YouTuber,
I think I heard something.
Everybody's talking about it. Just go watch Jay. He's done a whole video on it.
Oh yeah, I saw that video on my list.
Yeah, go watch Jay.
I didn't go into it, but I saw it.
He even borrowed someone's he was going to borrow someone's damaged 3090 for further inspection.
Man.
So keep your eyes and ears.
Thank God graphic card prices have come back down to
They've come back down. They've come back down.
The last thing you want is finally get a graphics card, a good graphics card.
And that's the scenario.
You have blue
if you finally just get something and you try New World and you fry it, I mean, yeah, you could RMA it, but again, the RMA guys are also investigating, so...
Yikes.
Yep, fair warning. Stay away from New World until we know what's up.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my gosh. Because, that would be the last thing I would want. Is you just finally got a graphics card after you could finally afford them, and then next thing you know, blue smoke coming out of your computer because you decide to play this new game. I would give up on life in general because that just would be so heart-wrenching. That just man. But last topic is just going to be a real light, quick little topic for today. Here in the next, I'd say probably month or two, I will be moving from Twitch, and I'm going to be transferring over to YouTube because Twitch has turned into a dumpster fire. Yeah, it's not doing too great right now due to all the issues with gambling on Twitch and hot tub streams and stuff. It's turning into softcore adult site and everything, and it's killing its rep, and that's causing less and less people to watch stuff on Twitch. And if people aren't looking to watch stuff on Twitch, you're not going to get the views. And the people that will come in and watch your channel, hopefully subscribe to your channel or drop you some biddies, and stuff. The only issue that I have with YouTube's platform for streaming is getting to monetized is rough on YouTube and stuff until you have a video
as somebody who has
that takes off.
I would say, as somebody who has had their monetization pulled after the rules have changed, yes. But once you do get going, you won't look back. Let's be honest. Discoverability, long-lasting people, YouTube.
I mean, I've been surprised with how our view counts and stuff have been on here, Gamers Anonymous, after just only having our first two streams up and stuff. I was impressed actually how easily it started to grow and stuff. As long as you have your content, it's a lot more discoverable and everything on here.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I chose to do Gamers Anonymous on YouTube instead of on Twitch and stuff, just because it has so much better discoverability and stuff. Twitch is just, they started out okay, and they have so many features that are good that I just wish YouTube would adapt some of them, especially gifted subs. That's one of the big things YouTube doesn't have. Or in this case, gifted membership.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with YouTube, to be a channel member. You know, YouTube really needs to do that, because that's a huge way. Most streamers make their big bucks off of people doing gifted subs on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
That's where most of their huge money comes from there and stuff. And at least YouTube has the super chat. Mm-hmm. And that's their version of bits.
Yes.
And stuff, which I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
And so my only disappointment with super chats, you don't get all the money. Like with biddies, you get every bit. Or Facebook being the other streaming platform and stuff, with it, their bit style stuff, you get all of it. You know, person gives you 10,000 bits or cheers or whatever you want to call it, that's $10 in your pocket. Where if someone does a $10 super chat, you get 60% of that with YouTube. And so that's the, you know, the pros and cons, but YouTube has much better ad revenue.
Yes.
Because ad revenue on Twitch is useless unless you've got about 3,000 people watching your stream. It's completely pointless. I don't even know why they give it to us affiliates. Because I'm like, at first I thought, oh, I can do ads now. That's a way to get some more money and stuff with my streams. I started off running all the ads and stuff, and most of the ads I was lucky to get a penny from. You know? My total ad revenue, I've made like 20 cents in the last 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, yeah. That's why I'm going to focus on YouTube. I'm going to be doing regular videos and streams and everything and stuff on my Roku Rotenki YouTube channel. I already have it up because I started doing some videos a while back. I also was posting my create streams and stuff, uploading the stream videos on there for a while and stuff from Twitch. And then I was also doing the videos of the playthrough of the story of PSO 2, which I need to resume that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because I've got like 3 or 4 episodes up and stuff, and Echo's the one that I'm playing through the story on. I've made sure to stay away from the story with her so I can keep continuing it with her and everything, because she's at the place where I left off at in those recordings and everything. But I'm definitely looking forward to making the switch. It's gonna suck because I'm gonna lose my monetization for a little while. So I'm gonna start getting a lot more videos so up on YouTube to try to get it monetized before I change over or have it really close and stuff. It's just, man, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and then 4,000 watch
4,000 watch hours.
Yeah, that is so rough. It used to be only 100 subscribers.
Used to be 100 subs and 2 watch hours.
Mm-hmm. And then they upped it to 1,000 watched hours.
Yep.
And that was fine. And then now you have to maintain gaining 1,000 subs each year and maintain that 4,000 watch hours every year.
Every year.
After you get the first year, the first point. That is just, at least with Twitch, once you get monetized, that's it. Once you hit affiliate, you're good, you're golden, and you don't ever lose it. You don't have to worry about losing it. Where with YouTube, you have to worry about losing it.
YouTube actually has the grounds to straight up terminate your channel if it feels they need to.
Mm-hmm. And so if they feel like...
If anything you guys learned from this, read those T's and C's.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. But we are about to hit the 2-hour mark. Mm-hmm. And I think we've pretty much covered everything. I know for some people out there, if you're interested in streaming stuff and you're looking for, decent streaming equipment, Elgato just recently launched a ton of new streaming gear on the 15th. And I mean a ton. It wasn't just 1 or 2 things. It was like 6 things. And stuff. Their new webcam, which is amazing. And stuff. Yeah, it's $200.
It's $200,
but it is better than any other webcam you'd ever use. And stuff, because it's fully controllable. Which is amazing. You can control the iOS, you can control the shutter speed. So that means it won't blur if you're like doing super crazy movements and everything. It's really awesome. Then they have 2 new boom arms that are out, a low profile one, which is what I really want. That way I don't have to have this huge elbow sticking up over here. I can have the low profile one come up under my monitor and then pop up right here. Nice and neat. And stuff. And then they have another one that's like over the top style, kind of like how this one is, but it has a riser that you can also put on it to bring it up a little bit higher if you have bigger monitors like Aideth does.
Don't be knocking the beast.
But your monitor's freaking awesome. 32-inch.
32-inch curve. Hell yeah.
It is a freaking nice monitor. I won't lie there. Then let's see. They have the new Wave XLR interface. They have an updated version to the original Elgato Stream Deck, one that's a lot nicer and everything. And stuff. Changeable. Oops, we just lost your video feed, Aideth. There you go. You're back.
Grandma.
Oh. Then we have let's see what. Oh, the new XLR Wave interface, which is amazing for new streamers to get their stuff set up. Unfortunately, it's not 2 PC capable for a 2 PC streaming setup.
That doesn't have enough ins and outs.
Yeah, that's my only disappointment with it. I won't lie, but otherwise it's amazing. I'm trying to think. Those were the really big things that they just released. So the main things I was interested in was the Wave XLR, because that is cool, especially now that my main computer can actually handle streaming all by itself. That Ryzen 5 3600.
That Ryzen 5.
Yep. Amazing.
I told you would never look back.
Oh yeah, I was glad that I went ahead and decided to spend the extra money and go to the Ryzen 5 3600 instead of the Ryzen 3 3100 that I was originally going to go with.
3100s for budgets.
Yeah. Well, I was originally trying to stay budget, and then I'm like, forget it.
Nope. Stimulus check, forget it.
I might as well build myself, while I have the money, build the system that is going to last me a while. With the exception of a graphics card.
Yeah, we'll get that fixed later.
Yep. My 96.
You're not the only one looking to upgrade. My 1000 is looking a little long in the tooth.
My 960 is working really nice, and thank you very much for that, Aideth.
You're very welcome. It served me well.
Because I have no complaints with it. It don't like shaders too well, and that's just because it don't have the VRAM.
It doesn't have the VRAM. Yep.
And stuff. And a lot of budget PC builds now are using the 960s.
Yep. 900 series is nice.
Have gone back down in price now.
The 960 has replaced the 750 Ti in terms of budget.
Oh yeah, if you're going for a real budget rig.
As somebody who has had both the 960 and the 750 Ti, yes.
And I love this the turbo one. It works even a little bit better than even the non ones because it's already overclocked.
Yes. Yes, because that's an Asus turbo card.
Yeah, I love it. And the white turns purple thanks to all the purple LEDs in my case.
Yep.
I only have I have all my stuff set to purple. My RAM, my CPU fan, and the case fans. Everything's purple and black. Come on, that's our colors, man.
It's our colors. Since day one, it's our colors.
For both Nightbrood and it was going to be my colors anyway for my streaming and stuff. I just thought it was so perfect. I mean, come on. My keyboard LEDs are purple, my game mat edge light purple, and of course my mouse purple. Come on. I make sure everything's purple. And stuff. And once I get the LED floodlight that I want to use above me to shine against the wall over here, it will be set to purple as well. And then I'll stop using my overhead light and stuff because I've got my amazing key light up here and stuff, which is so much better. My only complaint with Elgato, some of their products are ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
Like their key lights are way too much. You know? Yes, they're amazing because you can eventually control everything from the Stream Deck. And that's amazing system, how you can integrate everything to be controlled from one device. You know? Oh, yeah, and the other thing with the new Elgato stuff, you can get custom faceplates for your Stream Deck. The new Stream Deck, not the XL or the Mini or the original Stream Deck, but the new Stream Deck remake. You can get custom faceplates. So I could literally have purple with the black flame style background, like how it is behind my logo and the Nightbrood logo, you know, on it. And the Wave XLR is the same way. You can pop its faceplate off and put on a custom one that you can order through Elgato and stuff, which is pretty sweet. I kind of like that, especially for streamers that are trying to really brand up their equipment and everything and stuff. But Elgato is, I mean, you can get now with Elgato, you can get everything you need to be a streamer through Elgato. All the peripherals, everything. Webcam, microphone or interface, boom arms, your key lights, the Stream Deck, everything. I mean, it's pretty awesome. I won't lie. I wouldn't mind to have a full Elgato setup. With the exception of a microphone, because I'd still rather use an XLR over the Elgato Wave mic. Even though
I would say give them a couple months and they'll come out with one with XLR.
I think they will too.
With the fact that they just released a whole bunch of other streaming gear, why would they not go a little higher price range for XLR?
And stuff. But even though their Wave mic, their USB Wave mic, the Wave 3, amazing microphone,
amazing
and stuff. But at the same time, I mean, like my mic here, it's all metal. This thing's a heavy microphone. Where that little plastic, I mean, the problem with it, it's all plastic, with the exception of the metal grill on it and stuff. And that's where they save money to be able to keep the microphone at an affordable price, you know, reasonable price. But they didn't cheap out on its internals, because when they made the capsule inside, they actually partnered with Lewitt, which is one of the big name microphone brands out there. Lewitt mics are really good, especially for spoken word. And stuff. They're very popular with your voiceover recording and stuff. Lewitts and Newmans are your big time ones for voiceover and just spoken word microphones. and stuff. And that's why it sounds so good for a $130, $160 mic, depending on which version you get, the Wave 1 or the Wave 3. I always recommend the Wave 3 because it has more controls on the microphone itself. It makes it easy for you, because all you gotta do is tap the top of the mic to mute your microphone and stuff. And then it also has the gain dial on it. And from that same dial, if you push in on it, you can control the volume of your headphone output on the back of it, the monitoring. I mean, the only thing they're missing right now is Elgato headphones. And I really see that coming soon. Stuff where a person can literally have their entire stream setup be Elgato. I mean, they've got the capture cards, camera capture cards. Now they have a multi-camera card for the computer, which it was a huge plus. Multi-cam link that you can put inside the computer and have 4 cams hooked to it at once. And so for those crazy streamers that use multiple camera angles for their streams, which I know a few of them out there. But that's going to wrap everything up for today, I think. Got any other comments and stuff?
No, I think we've said our fill for this one.
So now I just gotta sit down and spend time and look through all the different news and everything to find our topics for next week. It's always fun trying to figure out the topics. This week I just knew it with the WoW.
Yeah.
That one was going, and I knew that would take at least the first hour.
Again, with the fact that WoW did recently have an expansion come out and they had a big bump and increase. But then, again, like I said, just in April, 14 just had a massive one.
Asmo left, and that just... And then he started streaming 14, and people saw how amazing 14 has become. People jumped.
Again, a lot of people looked at what Legacy was, and it didn't come back.
They didn't think to look after Realm Reborn came out. And stuff, and that was just their big mistake. You know, because 14, amazing game. I really do love it. The story is phenomenal, especially after you get past Realm Reborn, and you
Heaven's Ward is when it gets good. Believe me.
Yep. People just have to think that when they're playing it.
And for those people who are interested, you can play completely for free all the way up to level 60, no strings attached.
Yes, and that is a huge change. Where before it was level 30.
Yeah, before it was level 30, but now you can play completely up to completion of Heaven's Ward. So you can play all the way up to end of first expansion.
Yeah, and that is, I was so happy when they changed that. And that's what's really caused the massive bump. And those numbers on Final Fantasy are going to really change because they're all those people that came over, you know, because here's those numbers again. That's not counting. This is, active accounts. These are not counting the people that are still on free trial that are doing those demos and stuff, No,
I guarantee you those numbers are in the all characters number there. Because I'm just assuming all characters is any character that's been created since start of Realm Reborn.
Yeah. But I love that the community on there's growing. I just hope that the community doesn't become toxic like WoW. That is my big concern.
You just got to know which servers to stay away from.
Yeah.
Stay off XCal, stay off Balmung. Warning you now.
Yeah. So far, Exodus is still fine.
Yes.
But I'd like to thank everybody for joining us for the stream today. We had a lot of fun talking about everything. So we went over, quite a bit, especially a lot into WoW and 14. So it was definitely a great stream. Definitely great enjoyed, you guys. After the videos ended, feel free. Of course, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. It's greatly appreciated. Feel free to share our video all over your social medias. I would really like that. And stuff to help us grow the channel and get more people in here to have discussions with about games. That's what this is all about, sitting here and chit-chatting and discussing games.
Yes.
So,
and mainly for Zeke, because I know you have the equipment. If you would like to join us for an episode, my friend, the offer stands.
Because we can have up to 4 people in this.
Yes. So we'll upgrade to Pro later, but right now on Melon we can have 4 people.
See, I can go like this, and we have room for 2 more people to be with us. But yeah, definitely stuff, because all you need is microphone and a webcam and stuff. And I'm hoping that as we grow the channel, the main reason why I want to get the channel grown is so we can actually get some guest stars and stuff in here with us on the topics and stuff. Because as we grow, get more recognized and stuff, then we can hopefully bring in, who knows, if we were big enough now, who knows, we could have had Asmodeus right in here with us with all the discussion.
Yeah, I forgot Builder has one as well, so yes. Same offer.
Oh, yeah. Yep. So it's always great to have more people to discuss this stuff with. And everything. And stuff. That's what I love, because the Melon system that we're going through and stuff, which is a Streamlabs software, it works amazing for this type of stuff. I'm definitely loving. Yeah, I know some topics aren't exactly for you, but like when we're talking Minecraft or Phasmo and stuff like that, that's definitely right down your alley, Builder. And then it's real easy because I can bring you in and then take you out when we're done with the topics that are, involved that you would like. And stuff.
As somebody who has done a podcast before, there has been plenty of gaming during.
But this has definitely been a lot of fun, and big thanks to Zeke and Builder and
Ryu, yeah.
And Ryu, yes.
Yes, because he was here earlier.
And then Night Owl Mama's been on here, which is my mom. Big thanks to you guys coming and joining us and watching the stream and everything. We greatly appreciate it.
Oh, Ryu is still here. Hey, buddy.
Ah, he is. And stuff. We greatly appreciate chatting with you guys and stuff. We, as long as everything works out, we will be back on here again next Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock Central Standard Time and stuff. Watch out, because sometimes during the week, sometimes if there's a big news thing that pops up, I will pop on with a quick little short one and stuff here and there and everything. And we'll set things up even where Aideth can pop on if he sees something that he wants to quickly draw attention to. Let's say he notices before I do that finally Final Fantasy VII Remake is available on Steam, and he decides to pop on and do a little announcement.
And I think I would be probably a little more excited about that than you would be, especially because I already know how everything plays out. So
I just want it because I want to play the game.
Well, I again, with the fact that I've had to hold my tongue in front of my brother because he has not yet finished. He is right after WoW Market. He has no idea.
Oh, see, I just got to the part.
I have had to tell him multiple times. It is not the story you remember.
I have watched people play it up to the point where you have to go rescue Aerith. after
Okay,
after
so
the plate
you've
falls.
played up to Platefall. I can
Yep.
tell you right now that up until that point, there has been no major changes. But the only change that major was that they added that whole sub story for Jesse.
Mm-hmm. And
But
then they
other than
stretched out
but after
things so
that,
much further.
things gonna get crazy, my bro.
Yeah. I do know when you get
Little
13.
hint: who wrote the story?
Yeah. I do know when you get 13, I think that's the name of the cat.
Red 13, yes.
Yeah, Red 13. When you get him, he actually isn't an actual party member.
He is a combatant, but not one that you can control.
Yeah, exactly. For which I'm a little disappointed with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, big red button time. Yeah, probably Boulder.
Yep. But I'd like to thank you guys all very much for joining us on the stream. I'm Roku Rotinki.
I'm Aideth Elwing.
And stuff. And always remember, I do stream on Twitch Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday afternoons, usually. And stuff, unless I have a cold or family stuff that comes up. And quite often, Aideth is with me as well. And stuff when we're streaming. That's the whole reason why we made this channel, so that we could do all of our game talk and stuff during this instead of during my streams.
Probably not going to change, but
yeah, it ain't going to change. But as always, feel free to watch me there on Twitch. I will still be streaming on there for at least a couple months. I do want to finish off my current payout on Twitch. Is the main reason why I'm holding off on changing. I want to get my last $100 from Twitch, and then I'm out of there. Forget it. I'm going over to YouTube, and I'm going to take this time to also get more videos uploaded on YouTube, so I can start getting the channel growth going to get closer to getting monetized before I make the full switch. But I'd like to thank you guys very much for joining us. It has been a great discussion today. And as always, have a good one.